Oh, well, all right, I'm back. Sorry I haven't put anything out for over a week, just a lot going on. Um, yeah, so Conquest came up or started. I got max banners, I guess you would say. I got a couple of 4-star uh, data cards, or purple ones. So those two pretty nice. I have a couple of buddies that didn't get any. I didn't record these battles because for the most part they really weren't all that difficult. Just the Seep and JMLS battles were hard to get all the feats. So you can get max reward crate without max feat banners or whatever. But if anybody has any questions for specific battles, just comment and or DM me or tag me or whatever on Discord, and I will try to recreate how I did it and film it and put it out for you guys. So yeah, just give me specific battles or specific comps or whatever you need on the Conquest side. Look, of course, with the caveat that it's going to be done with my roster, not yours. But I'll at least try to help give you an idea of how to beat all those. So I'm catching up on Galactic challenges. I think I'm 3 behind, including the current one. I haven't done any of my GACs lately. They're recorded. I just haven't done them. Just a lot going on. For Conquest, I'm not sure. Sorry, my dog just dropped her Nylabone. I have mixed feelings about Conquest. It's very similar to a game mode that I'm already familiar with in Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall. It's Werewood Forays. It's very similar. You have to choose a path, and depending on what path you choose, there are RNG rewards in different campsites and whatever else. The difference being in Game of Thrones Werewood Forays, if you lose a tune on that foray, I don't think you can use them again. I honestly don't know because the difficulty is laughably easy, so I never lose a tune anyway. But in Star Wars and Conquest, even if you lose a tune in a battle, it still only takes away from their stamina or fatigue bar. So you can lose tunes in the battles and still use them next battle. Now, of course, if you lose a tune in a battle, you're not going to get max stars or max feat tickets, I guess we can call them. I'm not really sure. So you're going to have to probably go back and do it again anyway. But that is certainly interesting. I would have preferred it, honestly, if it had been like old school Galactic War, insofar as if you lose a tune in a battle, you can't use them for the rest of the war, or at least in Conquest, maybe it would just be you can't use them for the rest of that sector. Most of the battles are pretty easy. If you are a whale, this team right here, IT, can win, I would say, 75% of the Conquest battles, no problem. Yeah, no problem. I would safely say IT can win 75% of the battles. Of course, you're going to have to use stim packs or just wait for their stamina to regen, which you can. In hindsight, with Conquest being open for 2 weeks, I wouldn't have used any stim packs. I wouldn't have done energy refreshes because you don't need them if you have a Kraken roster or even a whale roster. I think most people with, let's say, 7 million GP or higher. Oh, mommy's home. Hold on. Sorry, as you can tell, when mommy comes home, the dogs get very, 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 very excited. So yeah, I think most people with 7 million GP, which I know is a lot, or just massively, massively focused accounts with lower GP, should be able to do the bulk of Conquest. If you have good IT, you're going to be good for probably, like I said, 75% of it. Uh, if you have, I would say at least SLKR and Ray, you should be good for a bulk of other stuff. I did use JMLS for some of them. I didn't really use SEEP, but you really don't need more than 2 GLs for Conquest, provided you have everybody that you do have viable, if not maxed out. Yeah, I really didn't use SEEP at all. I didn't even really use SLKR much, maybe for a couple of feats, literally a couple of feats. You're going to use and need JKL, JKR, gas doesn't hurt, CLS obviously, but everyone should have that. There are a couple weird feats. One of the feats against SEEP, I think you have to remove 700% turn meter. The team I used for that was Ray, JTR, BB-8, Moff Gideon, and Grandmaster Yoda. It's going to take a few times. You could also potentially use Old Ben, but if you don't have Moff Gideon, it's going to be pretty impossible. And then the other hard feat was against JMLS in the last sector, and you need to get like 10 crits in a row before winning. So I thought that going a GL lead was going to be the deciding factor, but believe it or not, for that one I did Palp lead, OG Palp lead, Vader, GAT, SLKR, and support, and I think Hux? No. What? I don't remember. But basically you just go with EPV. And if you have Palp lead and your Vader's fast enough, he's just going to go constantly. So it's just constant dots and Vader smashing whatever. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. But yeah, if there are any specific questions for specific matches or feats or battles or whatever, just DM me or comment, and I'll tell you what I did if I remember, and if not, I'll go back and I'll try to do it again for you. Yeah, and the rewards, or part of the rewards, is the Razor Crest, and I relicked my Cad Bane in preparation for the Razor Crest coming into the game, because I think that breaches could be interesting. I think a bounty hunter fleet could be very interesting again. But we'll see. Some people have noticed that if you look at Mando, Baby Yoda is missing from the carrier. A lot of people think that means we're going to get Bo-Katan soon. A couple things. I mean, it could just be for the Death Trooper release. Could mean we're getting Bo-Katan. Could also mean we're getting a new Ahsoka. Could also mean we're getting Beer Belly Boba. Or could mean we're getting Fennec Shand. Or could mean we're getting a combination, if not all of them. I personally would prefer Bo-Katan for like a really, really good Mando leader. I would love to see Casca Reeves because Sasha Banks is hot. But most importantly, Mandos need a tank. So I really want to see a tank, a Mando tank of sorts. So we'll see what happens. I haven't spent a whole lot of money in the game. I did buy the 3 Relic 8 salvage packs, because in my opinion, if you're a spender, that's worth it, because otherwise limited to just what you get from raids, and if you're in a top guild, the raids are very, very, very competitive. So I'll take the Relegate materials on offer if and when I can. Outside of that, I'm kind of nonplussed with Conquest. I don't hate it and I don't love it. I'm okay with it. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, or if I was expecting it to be awesome and reinvigorate me. I mean, yeah, theoretically it's nice to be able to use your whole roster, but you don't even need to use your whole roster. So it might almost be better for Conquest if you lost a tune, if you lose a tune in a battle, you lose it for the whole Conquest. I honestly might even prefer that, because with the amount of time given and the fact that you can just wait out, tunes to regen, I think that diminishes the difficulty of it. Yeah, I think it would be much more challenging and maybe even more enjoyable, but also maybe equally more frustrating if you lost characters. They went away for the balance of the Conquest, which you really shouldn't be losing characters anyway, because you can always retreat and all you've wasted is the energy. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little disenfranchised. But that's not just limited to Swigo. I think I have COVID gaming fatigue, meaning I've been gaming so much and for so long because of COVID that I just am burnt out of being at home playing games for the better part of a year or so. So I don't know, maybe that's part of it. Yeah, not a whole lot else. The stock market was fucking all over the place last week. I think it's going to continue to do that until we get an idea of what, if any, inflation comes about as a result of the additional almost $2 trillion in stimulus. Jay Powell, all he had to do was say, hey, if it gets dicey, we're going to start a new Operation Twist to keep longer-term yields a little bit lower. He didn't say that. So understandably, the markets got freaked out. By the way, this is, I think, finally the third Galactic challenge for which I have been delinquent in producing. All Powell has to do is say, hey, we're committed to an Operation Twist if we need it. And I think that would calm the markets down. But he didn't do it, and the markets were, unsurprisingly, not calmed down. Even though we finished up big on Friday, it was a volatile motherfucking week, man. I'm talking, I was up or down. I think I had a 4 or 5% range last week just from all the ups and downs and everything. It was a lot. It was a lot of volatility. A lot of volatility. All right, so I think this is the current Galactic challenge, and it's really weird because it's like that old one what we had to do with Mandos. You start out really soft, and all these Jedi are just absolute glass cannons. And one of the feats is you got to get 3 of them down at the same time. So it took me a while to get this right. I basically get everybody to where they don't have that bonus prot, because the bonus prot actually keeps them alive a good bit, and then just boom. Either get them with the gas or get them with JMLS, but That one took me a while. That one took me a while. All right, see you later.